A warm wishes to everyone. Today I am here to teach you about the software process models available in the subject software engineering. So let we go inside the video. So in this video I am going to tell you what is a software process model, so and what is be done in the software process models, and what are all the software process models available in today's software engineering companies. So many software process models are available there. So among them I am going to explain you detailing about the waterfall model. So now let me see about the perfect definition of software process model. A software process model is an abstract representation of a process that represents a description of a process from some particular perspective. So in a software engineering company, so what is the purpose of the software engineering company? To deliver a product according to the organization need. So for that you need any model, predefined model to do that particular product. So to do that particular software. So a software process model is an abstract representation of a process. So in which way the process has to be done to deliver that particular product. So that consists of that model that presents a description of a process from some particular perspective. Okay, so there are many different software processes available, so but all will involve the common categorization of phases between them. So what are all the phases done in the software process models? Means specification, common phases I am telling: specification, design and implementation, validation and evolution. So specification means defining what the system should do. So after completing the process, the product, what it has to be do in that particular organization, that is called as specification. So in that specification phase you have to define the system, what it should do. The next one is design and implementation. So here only they will design the product, how it must be done, and implement the product by writing coding or something what. Okay, so defining the organization of the system and implementing the system. So next one is validation. So after implementing the process, there must be some checking done to deliver a perfect product. So validation, checking that it does what the customer wants. Next one is evolution. So after validation, a perfect product is installed in the organization side. So after using, they will come under many circumstances. It may work by some errors and all. So that maintenance is called as evolution, changing the system in response to changing customer needs. Okay. So these are the software process models available now in current software companies. So many models are available. So among that I have displayed only a few models. First one is waterfall model, second one is V model, third one is incremental model, fourth one is RAD model, fifth one is agile model, sixth one is iterative model, seventh one is spiral model, eighth one is prototype model. So the name of the models only differs, and what are the common purpose of these models are? These models are to deliver a particular product wanted by the company. Okay, so from these available waterfall software process models, I am going to explain detail about the waterfall model. So let's see that. So waterfall model. So the waterfall model is a best first process model to be introduced. So in software engineering company, this was the first process model to be introduced. So it is a linear sequential life cycle model. So what is a linear sequential? One by one the phases will be executed. So you are not able to go back to the previous phase. That is called as linear sequential life cycle model. So for example, if you have completed first phase, means you are not able to jump to the third phase. So after completing the first phase and after completing the second phase only, you are able to go to the third phase. So that's why it is called as linear sequential life cycle model. It is very simple to understand and use. So in a small scale industries also, in a small scale software product industry also, they will use waterfall model only. It is very simple to understand and use. In a waterfall model, each phase must be completed before the next phase can begin, and there is no overlapping in the phases. I told you before itself, in the waterfall model, like the waterfalls only, you imagine a waterfalls, the water will fall from up to the down. Okay, so you are not able to bring back the water from the down to the up. Likewise, each phase must be completed before the next phase can begin, and there is no overlapping in the phases. You are not able to jump between the phases. Okay, the waterfall model is the earliest SDLC approach that was used for software development. This was the oldest and earliest software development life cycle model approach that is used for software development in many of the software companies. So this is the diagrammatic representation of the phases available in the waterfall model. So the number of phases available in the waterfall model is 6 phases. So first phase is requirement analysis phase, second phase is system design phase, third phase is implementation phase, fourth phase is testing phase, fifth phase is deployment phase, and sixth one is maintenance phase. So hereafter we will see the phases one by one elaborately. So first one is requirement phase. So the requirement phase is also called as requirement gathering and analysis phase. Okay, so before implementing a new product, you must know why the organization need that product. So the requirement. So all the possible requirements of the system to be developed or captured in this phase and documented in a requirement specification document. Okay, so the software process managers have to gather all the possible requirements of the system to be developed, and not only they are going to gather, they have to document the gathered requirements in a required specification document. Okay, SRS they will tell, software requirement specification. So after documenting, some analysis part has to be done whether the requirements documented are correct and up to that particular system to be developed. Okay, so the second phase is the system design phase. So the requirement specification from first phase are studied in this phase, and the system design is prepared. So what all the requirement specification is documented. So from the first phase has been bring down to the second phase, and according to the SRS document, the system design will be prepared. So this system design helps in specifying hardware and software requirements required to develop particular process, and helps in defining the overall system architecture. The third phase is implementation phase. So in this phase only the actual process will be implemented with the inputs from the system design. That means with the inputs from the second phase, the system is first developed in small programs called units, which are integrated at last in the next phase. So each unit is developed. After developing each unit, each and every unit will be tested for functionality, which is referred to as unit testing. After the functionality testing, that is the unit testing, is over for each and every unit, they are integrated in the next phase. Okay, so the next phase is integration and testing. So all the units, error-free units developed in the implementation phase are integrated into a system. So after testing of each unit, okay, so more or less they tested all the units in the implementation phase itself. But after integrating also, you must test the integrated system, entire system, because after integrating some new errors will be occurring in that product. So post integration, the system is tested for any faults and failures. Next one is deployment of system. So once the functional and the non-functional testing is done, the product is deployed in the customer environment and released to the market. Okay, so the last phase is maintenance phase. After deploying to the particular organization, there will be many issues because their users will use that product in runtime. So the errors will be in different models. Okay, at the designing errors are different from the usage errors. So after using, there will be many errors, and the product must adapt to that environment. So likewise some problems are there, so that problems can be erased in this maintenance phase. So all these phases are cascaded to each other, in which progress is seen as flowing steadily downwards through the phases. The next phase started only after the defined set of goals are achieved for previous phase and it is signed off. So the name only waterfall model came. In this model, phases do not overlap. Okay, so that's all. This phases of the waterfall model is over. I think you have understood. So the next one is, what are all the applications of waterfall model? So in each and every software companies, they will use one suitable SDLC approach based on the internal and external factors of those companies. So I am telling the applications where the waterfall model is most appropriate for. The first one is, requirements are very well documented, clear and fixed. The product definition is very stable, it will not be dynamic. Okay, technology is understood and it is not dynamic. The technology is going to use must be understood and it must be stable. There are no ambiguous requirements, not clear requirements. That means the requirements must be very clear for waterfall model. Ample resources with required expertise are available to support the product. The project must be very short. For short projects only waterfall model will be applicable. Okay. Next one, the advantages of waterfall model. The advantage of waterfall development are that it allows for departmentalization and control. A schedule can be set with deadlines for each stage of development, and a product can proceed through the development process model phases one by one. Development moves from concept through design, implementation, testing, installation, last one troubleshooting, and ends up at operation and maintenance. So each phase of development proceeds in strict order. So error-free model is waterfall model. So simple and easy to understand and use, easy to manage due to rigidity of the model. Phases are processed and completed one at a time. Works well or for smaller projects where requirements are very well understood. Clearly defined stages, well understood milestones, easy to arrange tasks, process and results are well documented. So these are all the advantages of waterfall model. So although it is a very good model, a good mechanism and all, it will have some disadvantages in that. Okay, so the major disadvantages are, no working software is produced until late during the life cycle. So there is no working software for this waterfall model. High amounts of risk and uncertainty. Not a good model for complex and object-oriented projects. I told you before itself, this is only suitable for short, small projects. So hence it is not a good model for complex and object-oriented projects. So poor model for long and ongoing projects. Not suitable for the projects where requirements are at a moderate to high risk of changing. So I told you that the requirements must be stable. So if it is changing means this model will not suit. It is difficult to measure progress within stage, cannot accommodate changing requirements. Adjusting scope during the life cycle can end a project. Integration is done as a big bang at the very end, which does not allow identifying any technological or business bottleneck or challenges early. Okay, so these are all the disadvantages of waterfall model. Thank you for viewing this video. Thank you all.